Okay, hello everyone, and thank you for joining us on today's webinar on how to optimize your fulfillment process. My name's Iona, and joining me today we have Rob Neale, the Managing Director of Switch Packaging, and also Mark Kirby, our Sales and Commercial Director. So just to get started, before I hand over to Rob, we've got a little bit of housekeeping to run through. So this webinar is being recorded and will be circulated for marketing purposes post-webinar. So please make sure your cameras remain off and you remain on mute. If you've got any questions throughout the webinar, we would absolutely love to hear them. So just pop them down in the chat function and we will try and get through all the questions at the end. Okay, Mark, over to you.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our webinar where we'll explore how to optimise your fulfilment process. This is our fourth webinar in the series, and you can catch our previous webinars on our YouTube channel. So we'll run through the full agenda in a moment, but I just wanted to repeat Iona's point and encourage you all to ask questions throughout using the chat box in the Q&A section at the end. So let's begin. So we'd like to introduce ourselves a little and who Switch Packaging are. So my name is Rob Neale, I'm Managing Director. I'm also joined today by Mark Kirby, who is our Sales and Commercial Director. Switch Packaging is a second generation award-winning packaging design consultancy and fulfillment provider offering moulded pulp, solid board and corrugated sustainable materials, designing, delivering and operating the needs of the client with bespoke, honest advice, offered by a team with a combined experience for over 7 decades. We are passionate about working with companies looking to improve their packaging lines and design to replace polystyrene and plastics with more sustainable alternatives. We are a UK-based company that also works alongside international businesses, servicing and shipping worldwide. So today, we'd just like to give you an overview of the fulfillment process, how to improve the efficiency of this. We'll delve into an introduction into the fulfillment landscape, the process of efficient and sustainable fulfillment, key considerations for fulfillment, exploring outsourced provider benefits, and examples of fulfillment projects and the Q&A session at the end. I will now hand over to Mark, who will discuss the current landscape.
Hello everyone, good morning. So thank you again for joining us. So let's begin. So I actually want to take myself off mute first. So thank you everyone, thank you for joining us and good morning. Let's begin by setting the scene. I'm sure many of you have joined on here today, knowing that there have been some radical changes in e-commerce and a growing need to improve the efficiencies of the fulfillment process itself. One important consideration for the landscape of fulfillment is e-commerce. E-commerce has surged in recent years, only further heightened by the pandemic itself. As online shopping and e-commerce begins to exceed physical retail, it has become more critical than ever to fulfill customer orders quickly, accurately, and cost-effectively. Using a fulfillment service is an excellent option for any business which has outgrown its existing warehouse capabilities and is looking for support to keep customers satisfied and improve efficiency itself. As well as e-commerce, with supply issues increasing in costs, it has become more important than ever for businesses to streamline their process and improve the efficiency. When discussing packaging, we often come across companies looking to streamline their processes, refocus their energy and money on services that benefit the business's bottom line and demonstrate a clear return on investment. This conversation often leads to fulfillment. An efficient fulfillment process can reduce your waste and save money, and this webinar will demonstrate how this can be done. With companies wanting to be more streamlined, and with the fact there's almost always going to be a consistent demand for packaging, it is a great place to start when looking to actually at your supply chain itself. When we go on to talk about the packaging and fulfillment, it's important to consider the bigger picture, such as designs, manufacturing process, customer demands, and actually more on top of that. As business looks to progress their sustainability strategy, in line with corporate social responsibility targets, we want to explore considerations for combining both e-conscious fulfillment and packaging services. Environmental considerations are becoming increasingly important, putting packaging at the forefront of customers' minds when both design and fulfillment align to achieve sustainable packaging. That is when it can benefit the client as a one-stop shop. Utilising an eco-conscious fulfillment provider that is experienced in design consultancy provides the overarching knowledge and expertise of improving packaging lines and design results in efficient and truly sustainable products and packaging. To benefit to the end user, we have introduced both sustainable packaging design consultancy and environmentally friendly fulfillment outsourcing services. The team work to improve a client's packaging to reduce plastic and polystyrene and follow an order fulfillment process with sustainability at the heart of it. We offer effective solutions delivered through a simple, honest, and transparent approach, ultimately allowing for a design and service that is fit for purpose, helps the environment, and delights the client at the same time. So we've introduced fulfillment and its changing landscape, but why is it so important for businesses? Okay, I know that we have already touched on e-commerce, but we want to reiterate that fulfillment services are so important because the rise of e-commerce is only going to continue to grow. A lot more businesses are selling their products online due to increased online buying behaviours. The pandemic has also heightened this, when many companies pivoted to e-commerce businesses models. With this, it is important to know that 17% of customers, that's nearly 1 in 5, won't return to your site following a poor delivery experience. Service is so important with customer loyalty. Fulfillment is also important for you to protect the brand and service. Ultimately, your effectiveness of your fulfillment service determines how quickly and accurately your products get delivered to your customers. Efficient fulfillment allows businesses to keep up with fast-paced industries and ensures your clients are not let down. As well as this, fulfillment is so important because of these factors. It affects the availability of your products. Having an accurate real-time figure of the stock levels ensures you know when to order more and avoid selling or overselling. This will protect your buyer experience, shield you from negative reviews, and keep your customers happy. It also affects how quickly you can deliver products. So the smoothness and efficiency of the warehouse layout and shipping process affect how quickly you can deliver products, which in turn affects which fast shipping programs your listings actually are eligible for. It affects your overall profits as well. Finally, the quicker you can deliver and replace your stock, the higher capacity you have to sell more, increasing your profits and growing your business. Let's not forget that space costs money. Warehouse storage can be considerable overhead for your business unless it is constantly operating at maximum capacity, making it difficult to justify. That is why the processes of your fulfillment needs to be well operated. I'm sure many of you have joined us today wanting tips on how to make your fulfillment even more efficient. Perhaps you're looking to expand or aren't satisfied with your current processes. Hopefully this next session will help you with that. So now that we've established the importance of fulfillment, let us delve into why it can be a sensible option for businesses to outsource this service. There are many benefits of using a fulfillment service provider. One important benefit is that it allows you to focus on your core business function and scale it up as well, taking the headache away. Many businesses can get distracted by dealing with logistics, and not all businesses have the resource or financial to master different services. So outsourcing to experts who carry out those functions day in, day out can streamline your process. The only thing you don't have to worry about is actually your products arriving safely at the fulfillment center. Once that is taken care of, the fulfillment experts will manage the process from then on for you. Unless you have your own warehouse operation, it is best to partner with a full service professional with enough fulfillment space and transportation resources. Outsourcing your fulfillment can save you money in many ways. The process of picking and fulfilling orders is very time consuming, and as we all know, costs a lot of money. Leading on to this is the labour required to actually pick the orders and ensure they are finished and delivered on time. Keeping staff or contracted employees requires a certain degree of commitment and effort involved, or which can be taken away by outsourcing this service. Space costs money, as we've said before. Warehouse space can be a big overhead for businesses, and the cost is then eliminated when the products are stored with your fulfillment provider. Another consideration to save money is the requirement for equipment. Equipment such as forklifts can be a big investment for businesses, which again can be eliminated when outsourced. On a final note for cost, prices for shipment tend to reduce the more frequently they are used. Therefore, fulfillment providers often get the best costs for shipment, which they can then pass on to the customer. Fulfillment services can provide unparalleled additional support for businesses as well, allowing businesses to improve their focus, services, and ultimately do what they do best. Having an external fulfillment provider can provide you with the added resource to take on larger orders, something which you may have otherwise had to turn down in the past. Outsourcing can encourage businesses to offer improved customer service, rely on experts to fulfill their jobs, and process orders much quicker. There are also factors which sometimes aren't considered up front. For example, products have to be insured, and an outsourced provider will have this covered. Also, the logistics of getting products delivered on site can be challenging. Not everyone has a warehouse, and this often leads to curbside deliveries. Having a dedicated warehouse with an outsourced partner can help with these logistical issues. Additionally to this, with an outsourced fulfillment provider, you can extend your reach. Fulfillment services are becoming more popular to allow the widespread distribution to broaden your target audience on a national and even international scale. A smaller but important factor when worth mentioning is zoning your warehouse to improve your actual fulfillment process. This zoning will improve the operations within the warehouse and overall efficiency as well. Our warehouse staff have access to the same inventory portal system to achieve transparency and manage the workload effectively and efficiently. Now, to make the fulfillment process more efficient, you need to look at your packaging design. Start at the beginning and review the whole process. You'll be amazed how designs the actual fulfillment process, and below are some examples of the impact of this once done. For quality designs, consider the packaging journey. Perhaps consider self-locking mechanisms rather than tape to save both time in the fulfillment and money as well. Another way to quicken the fulfillment and overall packaging process is to have your market messaging printed directly onto the box rather than on inserted leaflets, for example. Custom designs also mean there's less or no void space. This eliminates both time and cost of filling the empty space, and obviously can improve on less damages going forward. This is where design consultants can help. We have the knowledge to look at the whole picture and ensure your packaging is actually optimized. You may be able to find ways to speed it up or even completely eliminate certain steps, which we'd always recommend. Now, whilst it can sometimes seem daunting and time-consuming, it is important to review your own fulfillment process. Understand what is working and what isn't working, and perhaps you are looking at to expand or set up new goals going forward, and this will help. The key is not to be scared to do things differently than you have in the past and shake things up. It is a sensible option to schedule a packaging audit every at least 6 to 12 months to review your procedures and methods. So thank you for that. I will now hand you back over to Rob to discuss this in more detail. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, Mark. Hopefully that gives you some tips and pointers how to optimize your packaging designs. Now we're going to explore how we work with our clients as an outsourced fulfillment provider. As an outsourced fulfillment provider, Switch act on behalf of our clients and oversee the entire process. We offer the following: receiving the stock from the manufacturer or the client, picking and packing products, labeling the products with the correct labels and batch expiry dates, managing the delivery and shipping, and also managing the returns. At Switch, for each of our fulfillment customers, we start with an access portal, which have complete visibility of. This shows a stock inventory for each client. Product Plus gives you complete transparency of your product stock level as well. when an item has been shipped, not shipped, delivered, and when it's arriving, etc. Ultimately, our goal is to process faster, more efficient order deliveries, but we can also work in a way to suit the client's needs. We start by importing a sales order. The details are input here, and you can either use our own courier or be flexible and use your own. Using an inventory system takes a majority of the manual process away, which improves reliability and reduces the chance of error. It allows us and clients to see detailed reports of stock levels. This shows what has been popular products, what stock is low. Systems like this also make it very easy to track stock levels and benefit future manufacturing and purchasing decisions. You can also split the stock between 2 warehouses, if this was the case, so you can closely manage your inventory, however suits your needs. Another system which can help improve the fulfillment process is palletization. This tool calculates the best way to palletize products based on size and dimensions and weight also. This can be used for containers and lorry loads. So here we just want to spend a little time to explain the benefits of a one-stop shop approach. So at Switch, we offer packaging design, manufacturing and fulfillment service. This offers clients with a one-stop shop to improve the efficiency of their overall packaging and fulfillment. It also means that we know how to improve the efficiency of packaging designs so that the fulfillment process is quicker and more efficient. Using our experience, we know how to speed the production line up, ultimately saving the client's money. Now, before we wrap up, let's just take a look at one recent example. So at Switch, we recently provided an outsourced fulfillment service for a client. They reported back to us that the service was effective for them due to our transparency, flexibility, proactive approach, as well as offering fantastic service on a small and large campaign volumes alike. Through the fulfillment service, we were able to add both value and resources for the client and streamline the operation process. You can also see the image of the SRPs here also printed on our in-house digital printer. It's another service that works well alongside the fulfillment for some clients. Before the Q&A, I just want to thank you very much for listening today. Hope you found it useful. Fulfillment can sometimes seem like a bit of a minefield, which is why at Switch we hope to guide and support in making the process easy and simple. Collaborate and change our approach now to build a better future for our children and future generations. The cost of not cutting down waste, not being more sustainable and doing our bit will cause irreversible damage. Okay, so let's move on to the Q&A section. If we aren't able to answer any of the questions you have today due to time, we'll make a note and come back to you by email directly. So Iona, would you please be able to feed some questions to me?
Yeah, of course. We've had a few through come into the chat, so we'll get through them first, and then I've had some come through to emails as well, so we can answer those as well. So thank you for sending those over. So the first question we have available is, do you provide a fulfillment service for international clients?
Yes, we do, and we also have a very reliable courier who can look after international shipments as well, if required. If this is a need for you, you've got our email details on the screen. Contact us directly, or feel free to give us a call after the webinar.
Brilliant. Another question we've had come through to the chat is, how long have Switch been providing a fulfillment service for?
So we've actually been providing this service for 6 years now, and we expanded our warehouse in 2021 as well.
That's great. Okay. Another question we have here, what are your maximum and minimum order requirements for fulfillment?
So we try and be as flexible as possible with this one. So we don't have any actual minimum maximum requirements, but it does generally work out more cost effective for clients if they're looking at 1,000 units plus.
That's great. And lastly, what sectors are you able to provide a fulfillment service for?
Again, we try and be as flexible as possible with this and open to all sectors really if it's achievable for us. But the main ones we look after are medical, retail, e-commerce and food and beverage.
Amazing. Thank you, Rob. I think that's all the main questions that we've got today.
Lovely. Thanks, Iona. And thank you, everyone, for joining.
Yes, thank you, everyone.
That's great. Okay, if anyone has any final questions, like Rob said, please do ping them over to the email details that you can see on screen, or give Rob or Mark a call. And thank you for coming. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.